welcome to Miss V's math class. In this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know about probability for the ACT math section.
Math, numbers,
sine wave,
coordinates,
radius,
let's factor more,
polynomials,
numerator.
equations.
The first and most important thing to know about probability is what it actually is. Probability represents the likelihood that a certain event will happen. Probability is represented by mathematicians as a number between 0 and 1. 0 would indicate an impossible situation that would never happen, and 1 would indicate a situation that is definitely going to happen. So the closer the probability is to 1, the more likely that event is to occur. Probability is actually a newer branch of mathematics. Even though we've been playing games forever and ever, we haven't actually tried to put numbers to the games until more recent in human history. Probability is extremely important to our everyday lives, not just for games, but for example, modeling diseases, something that is very much needed right now in the real world. Insurance markets use probability quite a bit. Science, environmental regulation, financial regulation, behavioral finance. We also do see it, of course, in game theory, which is one of the most interesting classes I've ever taken. So if you have the chance to take that class in the future, I highly recommend it. So back to the basics. The probability of an event happening is equal to the number of ways it can happen divided by the total number of outcomes. This is your very basic equation for probability. Essential to know this one. Now, I know that formula is a little abstract, so I think you'll understand it better after we go through a couple examples. Think about a bag of 20 colored buttons, 7 of which are pink. Now, if I was going to draw a button randomly, like without looking, and we're going to assume all the buttons are the same size, so I can't just pick it out based on feel, the probability of drawing a pink button would be equal to the number of pink buttons divided by the number of total buttons, which would be 7 divided by 20. Now, some of you might be noticing that this is also equal to the percentage of pink buttons, and these two concepts are very closely related. What if instead of wanting to know the probability of drawing a pink button, the problem was asking what is the probability of drawing a button which is not pink? So we know 7 of them are pink. We know there are 20 total. So that tells me that 13 buttons are left which are not pink. So this time, to find the probability, we take the 13 in the numerator divided by 20. Now notice that 7 plus 13 is 20. So the probability of pink plus the probability of not pink is equal to 1. The reason for this is that a button is either pink or not pink. So those options represent the total availability of options. That's the only things that can happen. Because of that, one of those two things is true. And so the probability is 1. Because as we explained earlier, 1 represents absolute certainty. So we were absolutely certain that a button's either going to be pink or not pink. Now, most ACT questions are going to make you do a little bit more work than this. So rather than telling you the total number of buttons, maybe they tell you the bag contains 5 yellow, 7 pink, and 8 green. And then you are asked to find the probability of green. So we don't know the number of total, but it's pretty easy to figure it out. It's just an extra step that's thrown in to make you interpret the problem a little bit more. As you probably know from personal experience, some games involve chance. These games are random. Other games involve skill. This is not random. See if you can list different types of games that might fall into random versus not random. You'll soon notice that some games involve both. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. You should by now have a pretty good foundation to start working through some of the practice problems. If you have questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I hope you guys are doing okay. Stay healthy and keep mathing.